So this is not how I wanted to be talking to you from the Grand Prix of St. Petersburg. This is one of the weirdest days, not only in racing history, but in sports and certainly the world, that certainly anybody who wasn't alive during like World War II has experienced. I mean, it really is very strange times we're living in. And it's even more strange because this is a very frustrating process as someone who's on the YouTube platform, because YouTube themselves will not allow me to talk about the issue that has caused all of these problems. If I were to say the C word right now on this video, my video would be deranked, demonetized, and deplatformed. So I'm going to have to be very careful about how I talk about this. And it's just an incredibly strange issue. NBA, NHL, MLB, all canceled. And you look at what has happened in the world of racing. The Formula One Grand Prix is rumored to be canceled in Australia. The World Endurance Championship at Sebring, canceled. IMSA, Sebring 12 Hours, canceled. The St. Petersburg Grand Prix, which of course we're talking about today and this weekend, will continue on with essential crew members only and media that apparently is special. I don't know if that includes me, to be honest with you guys. IMSA is here. I do have an IMSA hard card. I do not have an IndyCar hard card. I have a media credential for St. Petersburg, but I don't believe that will get me in. Now, I'm going to do everything in my power to cover this event, cover this race for you guys, because you guys are the ones who are not only paying me to be here, whether you're paying me on Patreon or whether you're paying me to talk about this just through your views. You guys are the reason I am here in this position right now, and I'm incredibly privileged for that. Because if I was just covering this as a fan like I have the last couple of years, I would not have even got in today. And an already difficult trip for me where I'm going to lose a lot of money on this endeavor. I had planned on covering these three events: St. Petersburg, WEC, Sebring 12 Hours. Two of those three are not happening, and the other one is up for question. But it's strange times, guys. I will say this about the current situation, and I think this is incredibly important to say. We are all in this together. It's difficult. It really is. We have lost all of our entertainment. I know so many of the people who watch this channel are sports fans, particularly racing fans. And the fact that something like this is going on in the world and we won't have these distractions, or at least these distractions will be limited in terms of access, that's very difficult. Please don't freak out. I mean, treat this as seriously as you should, and I think you should treat it seriously. But don't go out and don't be an asshole, so to speak. Don't go out and buy toilet paper in such amazing quantities because you're being selfish. Look, we've got to take care of each other in this world right now. You know, right now we cannot let petty things hurt us because we're already all hurting real bad. It sucks to be a freelancer who's involved in racing right now. There are a lot of people. They sent all of the vendors home today. Terrible. And I know a lot of people are maybe a little bit upset with me of how seriously I'm taking this, but let's be honest here with ourselves. Yes, Roger Penske has taken over this series, but you know, a billionaire's dollars can only go so far. When you start canceling events or possibly canceling events, restricting media access, the reach of the series is going to be less than it already has been. And with the current situation affecting the economy, IndyCar's return on investment is definitely in jeopardy. And really all of racing's return on investment is in jeopardy. So just be prepared, because things may be a lot different a year, 2 years, 3 years from now than they are now. Somebody's flying down. That's the only racing I've seen all day, that motorcycle. But I'm going to try, again, I'm going to do my damnedest to give you guys the coverage that you deserve from me, because I worked so hard to get here, guys. I tried so hard. I pulled so many strings. I mean, honestly, you have no idea. And it is very disappointing to see what has happened here. Obviously, it's out of my control. It's out of IndyCar's control, really. So I'm not really blaming anybody, but IMSA as well. I mean, it's just very, very disappointing to me, someone who committed to this year, and to see what we've got here. Because if you know anything about me and what I've talked about on this channel, I like to keep it about race cars. Yeah, sometimes we talk about politics and world events when they matter to racing, and obviously this matters to racing. This has directly affected racing. But at the same time, I want to frame those things in ways that are entertaining and fun. Racing should be fun. This should be, especially for you fans who watch, this should be something that is a pastime. It should be something that entertains you. And you shouldn't have to be worried whether a race is going to happen, or whether you're going to get sick at a race, or whether your favorite driver or your favorite legend is going to get sick. This is awful. It's terrible. And I hate the fact that this has happened, and I'm sure I'm echoing a lot of people. But again, you got to be good to one another. That's what I'm going to leave on, at least for today. Be good to one another, everyone. That's the main thing that we need to realize right now, because we're all in this together, like I said. So, again, I don't know what the future holds. I don't think anybody does. I will say this for the rest of the weekend. I'm committed to making this as close to the coverage that I was going to provide to you before this outbreak started. So thank you guys so much, truly, deeply from the bottom of my heart, for your support. And I can't wait to continue to entertain you with racing content during these tough times.